Hello, hello. May the 4th be with you, everybody. Of course, anybody who's watching this on YouTube, may the 11th be with you, or later. I'm back. I have been out all week, but I'm back to show you some Space Quest 2, Vohaul's Revenge. Hope everybody's doing well, enjoying all the Star Wars stuff today. I saw the Star Wars Disneyland area finally opened. I'm sure that's huge and overpriced and crowded and miserable. And I can't wait to go there like a year from now. Hi, Joshua, and hello, everyone else who's in here. I don't have a viewer count yet, but welcome. I hope you're hyped for Space Quest 2. This is probably, I suspect, going to be on the shorter side, because this is a pretty short game, and there's not actually, like, a whole ton to cover before I start playing it. It's pretty straightforward. It was a sequel to Space Quest 1, and it was kind of rushed. And speaking of Space Quest 1, there is actually something very special I have here that I forgot to show everyone when I did Space Quest 1. So I'm going to show you now. I've been waiting. I've been like, do I show it in the next week or but I decided to wait till Space Quest 2. Okay. So here is my copy of the VGA re-release of Space Quest 1 from 1991. Okay. And this is something that I grabbed from the Computer Gaming World game library, from their old building, that they had moved from before I started working there. And they actually had to toss a bunch of stuff because they had so many. They had like a giant room that was just like dedicated games library, and there was no room for any of it. And all these games were boxed up, and there's no place. They just had to get rid of them. And I grabbed a few things, including this. So now this was a press copy, right? So the reason this is cool, I should have probably just grabbed all this stuff out of the box before I started, but I have here, first of all, a letter and business card from, well, I'll show you the business card, but there's like a PR letter here from, the press release from Sierra at the time, being like, hey, here's Space Quest 1, right? And also, and this is going to be hard for you to see, so you'll probably just have to take my word for it, but I have a collection of slides. Oh, you can kind of see that. That's the screen of where Roger it's crash landed on the planet Corona, right? And here is this backwards? I don't know. Can you guys see? There's the box art. But there's all these slides, because at the time, at the time, um, that we didn't, that you couldn't. This is how they distributed screens via these slides. Here's the bar on Corona, or in Newlands Flats. It's hard to see, but they're just like these little slides of these screens from the game. So that's how they got into the magazine. That's how they gave them to them. We couldn't take our own screens, I was like 11 at the time, but they couldn't take their own screens, or there was no like internet. So it's pretty cool. Would I be able to scan them in some way? I mean, well, I don't know how interesting that would be. I mean, they are just, you can probably find the exact same screens, from it's probably stuff that's just on the back of the box, right, I would think. But, like, I don't know how interesting these would be to scan. They're just screens from the game. And does it come with a check to pay off the reviewers? Yeah, all I found was the stub in here. And that's a joke for anybody. Like, I will tell you, any reviewers or paid off conspiracy theorists here. I worked in the press full time for 8 years and freelance for a long time after that, and I can tell you with full confidence that at least established legit outlets, magazines, and websites like real, the IGNs and the computer gaming worlds and all that did not happen. That absolutely did not happen. And if it did, and it was widespread, the games industry is the worst industry ever at keeping secrets, and you would have known within hours. There's no way that would have stayed secret. So, anybody who believes that stuff, you're crazy. So, anyway, that's the press copy of Space Quest 1. But more pertinently to today, we have Space Quest 2. There's the box. Got, the usual sliding cover, 2-piece Sierra box. And this game came out in 1987. For the usual, by now you're probably sick of hearing me say it's for Amiga, Apple II GS, Atari ST, Macintosh, and MS-DOS. They're standard platforms at the time. Once again created by Mark Crow and Scott Murphy, the two guys from Andromeda. And, it came out a year after Space Quest 1. That was 1986. And by 1987, Sierra had really kicked into high gear with, they came out with Larry 1, Police Quest 1, Mixed Up Mother Goose came out that year. There was a bunch of stuff that they did, and like some non-adventure game stuff. They did like 3D Helicopter Simulator that year, and so they pretty much they greenlit a Space Quest sequel before the first game ever came out. So they were ready to create some new franchises beyond King's Quest, and this I think this is the first sequel that I've done. This is their first, that I've done outside of the King's Quest series. So this was the second big franchise that they knew was going to be a franchise. And let's play a 3D Helicopter Simulator. I'm sort of weighing how to do some of the non-adventure games. I'm not sure. I'm not really that interested in them. 3D Helicopter Simulator is a game that I have it. It's on my shelf. I never really played it. I don't really care about it. And I don't know how really interesting it is, but I might do some sort of Sierra miscellany, episode at some point. You hope we get to Police Quest 3? We'll get to Police Quest 3. That's going to be rough. You may have some fond, if you remember your grandma playing that a ton, you may have some fond nostalgic memories of that game. That game is bad. That game was bad at the time. Oof. Yeah, Police Quest 3's got some problems. But anyway, that's for a future episode. So yeah, Space Quest 2, a lot like King's Quest 2, you can tell very early on, this was just rushed. They put this together without, I think, the same level of care that they did the first one, and just kind of threw it out there. And you could argue that King's Quest 2 was perhaps like a more ambitious, colorful, and like functional version in a lot of ways of what King's Quest 1 wanted to be. Space Quest 2 it's not as good as the first one. I mean, it's short, and it's like not as funny, and I'm doing a really bad job of selling this game that I'm asking you to watch me play through. But it's in terms of the whole series, it's one of the weaker entries. Right, they get better from here. The Space Quest series is one that, like, from here it just continues to get better, and then Space Quest 6 just falls off a cliff. Space Quest 5 is my favorite one, but yeah. So this came out in 1987, and this I think I mentioned when I covered Leisure Suit Larry 1. Mark Crow was working on this game. He did Leisure Suit Larry, the art for Leisure Suit Larry on weekends while he was working on this game. So he was pulling double duty, doing Space Quest and Larry. Can you remove clothes? I think Police Quest 1 is the only one where you could just undress on demand. You know? I mean, it would have been a great feature to just be like, whoops. But no, not in this one. Now, let's see, where's my PDF reader? Okay, so Space Quest 2 came with this comic called Space Piston. It is just a funny little, it's got some goofy little like ads, the way ads kind of looked like at the time, and then just this story of how, like, oh, Roger Wilco, this is the story of how he defeated the Sarians and became a hero, and he destroyed the star generator, and just all his adventures in Space Quest 1, right? And then you have this this scenario where he's like, oh, I'm a famous movie director directing somebody else acting as me in the story of my life. And of course he's just imagining it because he's an idiot and he's still just a janitor. Everybody's forgotten about him. And there he is, now he's a nobody again. But a mysterious evil guy is really, really miffed at, this like dime store Darth Vader is really miffed at Roger Wilco, right? Because it turns out this guy was the mastermind behind the Sarian invasion, the Sarian attack, the star generator and all that. So he, as you'll see, he has this really ludicrous scheme involving insurance salesmen. And yeah, that's Space Quest. Space Quest 2. But this was, back when Sierra Games came with these like little neat things in the box. Let's see. And that comic, that Space Piston magazine, actually won a local award in the Golden Oak Award in the Fresno area, which was an advertising. It's to honor great successes in the advertising field in the Fresno, California area, and it won the Golden Oak Awards honor for that year. And it was apparently the Fresno area was one of the largest test marketing cities in the USA at that time, which is just silly. And thinking of it now, like, Fresno's just like kind of whatever, but that actually won an award. It's wild. It's funny to me. This is this like little funny thing that came in a game box. And now I have not played it. I've read about some of the things it has improved, but there was a VGA remake of Space Quest 2 that was released by Infamous Adventures in 2011. It's a free download that you can get from their site. They also did, I talked about, they had made a King's Quest 3 VGA remake as well. And it changes some things and expands some things. There's like this really bad puzzle, this really annoying, like one of those basically tightrope puzzles in this game. If you play Space Quest 2, you know what I'm talking about. But it's one of the worst ones Sierra's ever done, and so they fixed it in their VGA remake. So, yeah, I will play that at some point. And ew, Fresno, yeah. I live in the area now, so I agree. Yes, ew, Fresno. So let's see. Let's do this. Where's my Space Quest 2? Let's get this loaded. Of course, as usual, I'm going to be using my MIDI patch. Because that's from my launcher here. Because that sounds nicer, I think. So here we go. I mean, I guess it sounds nicer, arguably. That's Vohaul's Revenge. A guy you've never heard of before is getting revenge. And once again, Mark Crow and Scott Murphy pretty much just did all the heavy lifting on this. They didn't really have teams back then. It's just made by a couple people. It's weird looking back and thinking that today. As you recall in our last chapter, you had just foiled the Sarian's fiendish plot to rule the galaxy by using the Star Generator as a weapon of destruction. You became a hero by saving countless lives and returning the Star Generator technology into safe hands. Life was beautiful. But heroes come and go, and people soon forget. Your celebrated herodom slowly fades, leaving you once again a janitor. The promotion to head janitor was no consolation, especially since you are the only member of the janitorial staff, nor was the transfer to Orbital Station 4. Sweating like a pork beast in a pressure suit while relocating space debris in zero gravity just wasn't your idea of a good time. Life sucks. Again. So here we are, Xenon Orbital Station 4, XOS 4. And it's, well, you get a little more story through this game than you do Space Quest 1, so maybe there's, you know, there's a little bit to it, I guess. Okay, and here we're just going to go with the default name, which is, again, Roger Wilco. And Orbital Station 4 is one of many orbiting Xenon, your home planet. It is a transfer point for travelers seeking transportation to the various planets in the Iranon system. As we begin the chapter of our story, we find you, Roger Wilco, ace janitor, doing what you do best. The MIDI patch does make the broom sound a little silly. I'm sorry. A beep emanates from your wristwatch. You release your grip on the broom. All right, and actually, I want to change my speed, and then we look at the watch. What else? Good idea. Oh, look at the buttons. There are 3 H, C, and T. Okay. We'll push C because I know that's what we push. I think the other buttons, one gives you like the time or something. Roger Wilco, get in here on the double. You've got a mess to clean up in the shuttle. Whoops. Well, and if you don't, you're fired. That's pretty much what he was saying. With that, the image disappears. All right. One of the great things about this game, and I say that with air quotes, is that this game just wants to kill you everywhere. Okay? Everywhere. The game, there's almost no screen on this game where you cannot die. There's some way to die on just about every screen. Due to an obvious lack of common sense, you have stepped off the edge, lost your magnetic grip of the ship, and drifted to your death. Way to go, Wingnut. Once again, you've demonstrated your inability to sustain life. You quickly glance around the room to see if anyone saw you blow it. Thank you for playing Space Quest 2, Roger Wilco. You've been swell to watch. Have a nice day. And actually, after you die, if you go to the About Space Quest 2, it says it was... Usually it just says Space Quest was designed and created by Scott Murphy and Mark Crow. But after you die, it adds a sentence where we hope you're not looking for someone to blame just because you died. But... Well, here, let's get into this room. We walk along the wall. It's super cool. They got this cool, like, magnetic boots here. It's neat. Then we go in there. You're whisked away to the decontamination chamber. Stand by. I am now decontaminated. Watch this. Watch this. Watch this, guys. Boom. That's Space Quest 2. Yep. Congratulations, you're the most bitchin' adventure game player in the world. No, make that the entire universe. While all those other silly saps struggle and toil through puzzle after puzzle, you have found a way to cheat yourself to the end. Is America great or what? Oddly relevant there. Look at that. Perfect score. Mensa, baby. More than perfect. Like, yeah. So that's it. That was Space Quest 2. It's, like I said, it's a really short game. So, it's just a fun Easter egg. So, what we want to do is wear our cool janitor suit. I guess. Cool. Open a locker. Look in the locker. You barely peer into the locker to find a Rubik's Cube puzzle and your athletic supporter. We want to get the puzzle. We want to get the supporter. And here's another funny Easter egg. Get condom. Sorry, the used Nancy Reagan autograph Just Say No condom had to be removed for the shipping version. Alright. And whoops. I'm just kidding. Thought I was going to go through the door, didn't you? Alright. Here we are. It's about time you got in here, Roger Woko. Head for the shuttle bay on the double. I'm warning you, you're on your last leg around here, bud. One more screw up in your history. He then orders the transportation officer to send you directly to the shuttle bay and nowhere else until the job has been completed. Alright, wow. What a great boss. Actually, let me save again. Like I said, you can die on pretty much every screen. You're in the game barely 4 minutes, and already you've nimbly stepped to your death. How far down your family treated Knuckles' last play? An important role in locomotion. Watch your step next time. So, yeah. That's rather silly. I don't think you can die. I don't think you can die in the airlock, and I don't think you can die on this screen. I'm pretty sure. So go down here, whoops, and we get into the Millennium Falcon or whatever this is supposed to be, and you enter the shuttle and start sniffing around for the mess you must clean. You are surprised to find that the shuttle is not empty. There are two extremely ugly suckers walking toward you. Hey, your favorite, what the tarnation? Pow, thwack, bink, thud. Your protest is cut short as two interstellar ruffians proceed to thump you unconscious. Everything fades. Time passes. More time passes. A strange dream turns into the realization that you are being shaken and talked to by a voice unfamiliar to you. A dull ache triggers a distant memory of a scuffle in which you were the focal point. Upon awakening from your forced rest, it becomes quite apparent that you aren't in Kansas or Xenon anymore. You find that you are being held upright and under physical restraint from both sides by, you guess, the galactic goons you met on the shuttle. As you try to struggle free, you notice your hands are tied behind your back. As the eyes dial into focus, you make out an oddly disfigured being seated before you. A sagging mass of flesh that appears to have been human at one time. Tubes and wires extend from his body, leading to machines which keep him alive. Suddenly his visage stirs, and he begins to speak. Well, do we have a nice nap? I thought we would have to resort to drastic measures to wake you. Oh well. Welcome to my humble fortress, Roger Wilco. The name's Vohaul, Sludge Vohaul. I was the genius behind the star generator when it was still in the concept stages. It was to be my ultimate war weapon until some sissy-pants scientists decided it would be better use saving lives rather than destroying them. This is a Venture Brothers voice, yes it is. What a waste of technology. Excuse me if I sound bitter. Anyway, you ruined my Sarian operation. I was going to make use of the star generator to make Xenon pay for what they did to me. They were going to know my wrath in a big way. You somehow managed to change all that. Oh, I suppose I should have known better than to use those mental midget Sarians. That's not the point, however. You are responsible, and you shall pay. Besides, I have another plan, and you'll not be around to foil it. I have devised a plan so horrible, so frightening, so diabolical that no one will be able to stop me. Observe my latest creation. I intend to infest your planet with thousands of these genetically engineered door-to-door life insurance salesmen. I will at last reap sweet revenge from this scientific community that mocked me. My plan was to kill you, but I've had a change of heart. Get it? He peers down at the hoses protruding from his chest and connected to a life support system. Forgive me. I'm a kidder. I've decided I would get much more enjoyment watching you suffer. My associates will escort you to the service of Labion, where you will perform many, many painful hours of manual labor in my mines. I'll be seeing you. An injection renders you unconscious. Your drugged carcass is loaded onto a shuttle. Upon reviving, you look through the viewing port to see Vohaul's massive asteroid fortress getting smaller. And yes, for any Venture Brothers fans, that was my Augustus St. Cloud impression, a bad one. After touching down on a giant landing platform, you are ushered to a hovercraft waiting to transport you to the mining site. Utter despair sets in. And of course, this is like obviously a Planet of the Apes kind of parody. There's just not very strong, but that's what they're going for here. So, oh great, I suppose we're out of fuel. Way to go, Gorf Breath. Oh, Gorf, cool. Don't blame me, it was your turn to fill up. You're always forgetting to do it. Wait till the master finds out, you're in big trouble. Hey, don't talk to me that way, you slime bucket. I filled it last time. Dip. The argument between the two guards is cut short as gravity reasserts itself. Alright. Good thing that guard broke your fall. He doesn't look too happy about it, though. So, as in Space Quest 1, obviously we search the dead body and we find a key card. You search the grotesque body and find a small, thin magnetic card. It looks like a key card. You seem to recall seeing one somewhere in the past. Yeah, in Space Quest 1. Did I get the key card? Oh. Alright, so we get the key card. And then we go over here. You look in the pod. Everything inside is twisted and bent. You do notice a button with a flashing light next to it. It seems to be emitting a high-pitched beep. And you press the button, the light goes dark, and you no longer notice the high-pitched beep. And if you don't push that button, eventually somebody will arrive to kill you, because it's like a homing beacon. I believe... Where is it? Oh. Do we have to be more graphic? Ugh. Well, when you start trying to do dirty things to the body, it'll be like, ew, you're one sick mofo. The only other person I know who has a mind like that is Mark Crow. So Scott Murphy was making fun of his co-designer for that. Oh. Okay, you fall. I wasn't expecting that, actually. You fall to the bottom of the concealed pit. You might have survived the fall had you not come in contact with the several 30-centimeter long spikes planted vertically along the bottom of the pit. I don't know if I knew about that one. Huh, okay. Yeah, another senseless tragedy. You can help prevent this. Vote yes on lobotomies for adventure game designers. Thank you for playing Space Quest 2, Roger Wilco. You've been most entertaining. Alright. Well, I didn't, I was not actually trying to die there. I didn't realize that was going to happen. Okay. So can we just go up then? Can I just go up? Jesus Christ. Suddenly, from somewhere to the east, you hear a twang followed by a high-pitched shriek. And we want to go and hide over here behind the tree. We are now hiding. Look at that. You hear something. It sounds not unlike the hovercraft you wrecked in. And you got to stay hidden here, otherwise, well, actually, why don't I just show you? Yeah, so he'll just kill you. Drats, Vohaul's troops will track you down and pass sentence for your escape. Tough luck, huh? Yeah. So, you stay hidden behind the tree, and he will, he'll just leave. Woo, that was a tense moment. Vohaul's thug failed to spot you and is off to search elsewhere. So, that's all you really have to do to get out of that. Then we go over here. Whoops, foliage here is much too dense for you to pass through, so you can't go that way, but we can go this way. Let's see. This is another clearing, the otherwise heavily wooded area of the forest. There's a plateau near the back. What's this? The mailbox looks typical for a mailbox. There's a slot, a train, a sign. I don't think... Oh. Okay, read sign? Come on. The sign says Radical Express when it totally no doubt for sure has to be there a while previously. Okay. Now, the reason this is here is that you have an order form in your inventory. That's there from the beginning of the game, which you would not know if you didn't look. This is an order form you removed from a magazine for a free Labion Terror Beast mating whistle. It's ready to be mailed. Okay. So this mailbox is here so you can mail that form. You drop the order form into the box. The mailbox hums and buzzes for a while. Then an object of some sort drops into the tray at the base of the box. The machine goes silent. Whoops. Whoops. You don't understand item. Come on. Okay. Okay, well, it's a whistle. Wow, oh my god, I can't type today. The whistle is usual looking, so you get a whistle, right? And you need that later. And that's a bit of a strange way to put that puzzle into the game. I don't know. That feels weird. And is this game better or worse than the cowboy one? You mean Gold Rush? This is like, in terms of just being, this is a better assembled adventure game, probably. It's just short. There's just not much of it. I mean, this isn't like a bad game. It's just like there's not much of it, right? And we can just jump off the cliff here. It's fine. We don't die, right? Thanks to fancy footwork, you're not picking yourself up the ground or barely surviving a small down a small cliff. But that's okay. That's okay. We just barely, here, let's save the game. What's over here? Oh, these spores. You seem to have kicked one of these strange little spores. Your kick caused some spores to open and spray fine powder into the air. As a result, you are paralyzed from head to toe, unable to move a single muscle. Is that it? Don't I die? I thought I died. I thought that, like, killed me. Due to paralysis, you are only capable of displacing air. Okay. I swear that was like... Yeah, that would kill you. And you know, yeah, Gold Rush. So this game, I know I did Gold Rush last time. This came out before Gold Rush. Gold Rush was actually 1988. It was one of the last, I should say, AGI games. And so they did a lot more, they got a lot more creative with like some of the visual design and things like that. So what we want to do is take a spore. You take possession of one of the spores, being careful not to mistakenly break it open. And so we have that. And now all right. You ready? Here, because, well, here we go. So this is just one of the most cruel things in a Sierra game. You are in another clearing in the forest. This one seems to be occupied by a type of growth you are not familiar with. It appears to be some kind of overdeveloped root. There is a pulsating growth near the middle, which is connected to several meters of root-like appendages. So, I have to... This is a maze, right? You can see I can, like, enter here, and there's, like, a path over to that arch on the left. And I crawl through, get the berries, right? That's the puzzle. This is functionally just another, like, Sierra, you're going to fall off the cliff tightrope puzzle, right? Where you just have to keep saving every few steps and hope that you don't get eaten or die, whatever, eaten in this case. I'm not just gonna like show you because I most certainly will die while I'm doing this several times. This is one of the stupidest puzzles in a Sierra game. Everyone hates this. Yep, there it is. And it's super finicky, right? Good. You've succeeded in establishing contact with one of this planet's life forms, and it looks like you'll get to examine it up close and personal. The giant root-looking thing is giving you a guided tour of its digestive system. What you experience next is too horrible to describe. Let's just say that you die as a result. You are dead, trust me. It may please you to know that during the night you didn't digest well. For a while, gastric distress made it extremely unpopular with the other root monsters. So, this... Oh, was this monster ripped off from Star Trek? I don't... See, Star Trek is, like, kind of a blind spot for me, unless it's, like, one of the obvious Star Trek parodies. I don't really know it very well. Or, like, a more recent thing. But, yeah, if you say it's a Star Trek parody, yeah, I definitely believe you. That sounds like something they would definitely do. So this is a super, super finicky puzzle. And you just have to, like... Oh, god damn it, see... You just have to, like, save... everywhere. And it's just... Ugh. And it's just terrible. This, I think... Let me see... There were some awful ones in, oh, nope. I was right on the, kind of the line there. There are a series of pretty terrible ones in King's Quest IV as well. But I think, as far as this kind of puzzle, I'm pretty sure this is one of the last, like, really, really terrible ones. Because they didn't really do many of these once they got into, like, the more advanced, the AGI, or once they got out of the AGI era. They didn't, this wasn't something that this sort of fell out of their design habits. So yeah, here we go. And now we get the berries. Whoops. How am I not in a suitable location for that? I'm right next to them. Jesus. Alright. We get the berries, and then snag some of the odoriferous red berries. And yeah, there's very little depth perception sort of in a game like this. It's just like it's a pixel hunt. That's all it is. And there are some spots where you'll be like, oh, I'm safe here, right? And it'll be like, no, it's this spot that looked like you were stepping on green was actually stepping on one of its tentacles. Ugh. Oh, I'm having a little bit of a better time here. Alright. I got this first try. Not gonna die. Alright. All right. Am I gonna make it? Think I'll make it without without dying? If I make it through the whole thing without dying, somebody better cheer. Damn it. Okay, almost. Almost. Look at this. Look at this. Boom. Boom. Right there. I'm through it. I'm totally there. Oh! I did it. I didn't die. I didn't die once on the whole way back. I didn't even need to save. Psh, it was easy. Yeah, the berries, you gotta have the berries to get through. They're like smelly berries you rub on yourself to get past another stupid monster. So, there we go. Now we want to go, what, right over here. And back this way. This area, this planet, it's not actually very big. There's not much to it. Is it here that I go? Yeah. So, you're in another area of the forest. The growth seems to be getting heavier here. Oh, well. And there's this little guy, which he'll help you later. So you untie him, you let him go. If you don't untie him, later on, more of his people will kill you. Before disappearing through a tiny hole in the brush, the little creature gives you a long glance. And look at this. Look at this tree. Yes, you see before you a tree. Thanks. Well, this is like King's Quest, right? We climb the tree. The tree is coated with a thin, slimy film, making it unclimbable. Can't you keep... There's like a way to... Isn't there like a way to... I thought there was something, some way that you climbed the tree and you died. Maybe not. Maybe I'm remembering that wrong. So, let's see. We go up here. Is it this? Is it over here? No. Is it? Maybe it's probably at the top of the screen. There's like another screen east I have to go. This way. I think. Yeah. Alright, you're standing at the edge of an eerie swamp. You can hear the croaks and moans of swamp life, none of which you are eager to encounter. Alright, I'm going to save just right here. And this is what happens if you go in. Yuck. This is what happens if you go in without using your berries. That nice fellow finds you and kills you. You feel something slimy clamp down on your leg and pull you beneath the surface. You struggle in vain to free yourself. Unfortunately, your desire to breathe results in the intake of a large quantity of swamp water. If the lack of oxygen hadn't killed you, the taste of the putrid water would have. You're dead. Better luck next time. Roger Wilco. So... Is it this tree? I swear there's a tree like you can climb and like die. Okay, the trees are not climbable. So what you got to do is rub the berries on your body. You rub the berries all over your body. You now smell like a walking ammonia inhalant. So, yuck. So we will walk through here. And once again, he takes an interest. But... now that I smell all gross, you feel something slimy clamp down on your leg and almost suddenly spit you back out. You distinctly hear the sound of aquatic gagging and retching. Evidently, you had a bad aftertaste from the berries. All right. So we keep going here in the swamp. Doot. And there is a deep end. Deep part of the swamp. Isn't there? Did I pass it already? It's back here. You have to like dive down. There's a secret room and whatnot. It's up here. You like start swimming. I think. You stepped into a deep area of the swamp. You are forced to swim. And I believe you can just tire of swimming and die here. Whoops, not drive. I want to dive. I probably should have held my breath. Oh, you can't go on. You do not have enough oxygen in your lungs. You panic. The need for oxygen causes you to become irrational. Your desire for air causes you to inhale large quantities of water, which results in suffocation. Okay, whoops. I forgot to hold my breath. That's so Wilco. You take a deep breath, filling your lungs to near bursting, and head for the depth below. Your lungs are near bursting. Jesus Christ, man. I just wanted... Just hold your breath. You don't have to, like, freaking cause your lung to collapse. Like, what? Hi. Alright, so... And as you can see, you know, obviously... From what you just saw, like, it's perfectly possible to get through that swamp area without even stepping into that deep area. So you could miss this entirely. So you're in a small grotto below the swamp. A strange light dances off the walls of this cave. Its origin, a glowing gem situated on top of a boulder. And you take the glowing gem. All right. And once again, hold breath. Once again, you wisely take in a load of air and head below. All right. So the gem is, you know, it's pretty important, actually. So, yeah, but you could go through this not even having any idea that that was there. And, yeah, you would think when you type dive, it would, like, obviously, I don't just want to, like, dive and start, you know... drowning. I want to hold my breath. You've gotten out of the deep spot and are back on your soggy feet. Alright. And now... get through this swamp. Get out of here. And be on my way... here to this tree. Alright. And this we definitely climb. Climb tree. The tree is dead and seems to be free of the slick secretions some of the others generate. You begin to shinny your way up the snag. Crack. Oof. Holy log jams, Batman. You almost ate the big one. I think you can just keep doing this. Oh, no, you can't? Alright, well, anyway. There's like a way to cheese points with that, I think. With the tree. Like a bug. Am I on comedy button on Friday? This past Friday? No, the past Friday and the one coming up next week I'm not on. I've been out all week. Oh no. Do you guys hear that? That's like I'm getting a phone call. I don't want that. No, I don't. No, go away. Jeez. Okay. Sorry about that. I actually usually will mute my calls. Yeah, okay, there we go. I'm sorry. All right. Not a Skype, a Google Hangouts call. I have a Google Voice call. I can have my calls come through my computer or my phone, or my texts come through my computer or phone. It's just really useful that way. I can just answer them here, you know. Okay. But we're across the log. So now got to go over here. You're in a thinly forested area just east of the fissure. And I'm caught in a trap. Yikes, you have been snared, suspended above the ground. You are unable to move freely. No, I'm not going to answer. I think it's my uncle calling me to say it's his birthday, actually. I texted him earlier to be like, happy birthday, may the 4th be with you, which I do every year. After a while, the cerebral fireworks begin. Capillaries begin to burst. Under the strain, you pass out. Once again, time passes. And then some more time passes. While unconscious, you have the strangest of dreams. You imagine that your name is Larry. You are wearing something known as a leader suit, apparently made of 100% synthetic materials, and proven to generate large amounts of static electricity. While prowling a locale known as the Land of the Lounge Lizards, you spend your time badgering women of the area to participate in bizarre mating rituals, such as... just then, consciousness begins to creep in. Your head begins to clear, and you realize that you have been imprisoned. Your captor appears to be that large oaf sitting near the fire. And I will call my uncle back, don't worry. Don't worry. So, now, what I want to do, well, I want to look around. You're in a well-hidden clearing. It is surrounded on 3 sides by large, smooth rock formations with brush to the north. A cage is below one of the formations. You're currently in it. In the center, a campfire burns. One has to wonder about the purpose of fire during a warm day such as this. A rope sits on one of the boulders. A large beast is nearby. Now, if you recall, I have that spore in my pocket, the one that paralyzed me earlier, which I know that happens because I stepped on one. So, we want to get this guy over here. The hunter seems to ignore you. And now, the hunter stands and takes a long look in your direction. His face, though strange in its own right, bears an expression one might see on a freak show patron. He moves closer. And you throw the spore. Upon impact with the ground, the spore opens and spews its dust into the air. The hunter falls to the ground, paralyzed. Oh. The hunter is lying on the ground, unable to move. It looks as though the spore proves quite effective in this instance. What if I talk to him? That's not helpful now. Let's see. You search the large, not to mention uncleansed body of the hunter. You find a key which might unlock the cage. Other than that, you find only a few assorted parasites clinging to him. Oh. How do I do that? The hunter. Oh, uh-oh. You've caused the guard to be paralyzed. I don't think he's too pleased with you. Oh, no. He's going to kill me now. The hunter decides that it's a perfect day for a barbecue. As he slowly turns you over the fire, you begin to turn a beautiful golden brown. Death follows an agonizingly long distance. Oh, no. I didn't realize that would, Oh, come on. Ugh. Here. Can I... Oh, look, see? Look at that. Boom, boom. Points, guys. Look at that. See that? Look at this. That's how you do this. That's how you cheese the points. Boom, boom. I'm about to beat the game. Look, I'm about to get a perfect score, and I'm about to beat the game, and that's it, you know? Uh-oh. Oh no, it reset. I guess I shouldn't do that. Here. Let's go back to where I was. Anyway, that's how you choose the points. You got to do it before it falls. Okay. Now, I should have saved my game before, like, when I first got into the camp, but I'm stupid, so that didn't work out. Alright, so I gotta go through this again. He will capture me again, and I think I have to be closer to get the key. You know what gets you a perfect score? What? What gets me a perfect score, Rodbot? Answering your uncle's phone call on his birthday. That's true. That's true. I can't do that on the stream, though. But yeah, I know. I'm gonna call him back. I'm gonna call him back, and that'll be literally the first thing I do after I stop the stream. Before I even get out of my chair, I'm going to call him back. Okay. All right. Oh shoot. You can't reach it. The hunter is too far away. Oh, you reach through the bars and take possession of the key. Oh, I have to be closer. Yeah, okay. Okay, unlock door. You slip the key into the lock and give it a turn. The lock snaps open. All right. We want to get that rope. Is there? All right. Beautiful. Oh, the foliage here is much too dense. There we go. Uh-oh. You're at the edge of the forest, the boundary of a sheer cliff at the east side of the area. In the distance, you see a landing platform, possibly the one which welcomed you to this strange, lush world. Will somebody show up and kill me? I saw a dude take off. What present did I buy my uncle? We tend not to do a whole lot of presents for birthdays. We really don't. Like, not anymore. Like, we're all too old. We just phone calls, really, just acknowledging and having is being like, "Hey, happy birthday" is really enough for all of us. Really, come on. Which I didn't even have to like. I didn't even. Oh, there we go. All right, that's where they kill me. All right. They track you down past sentence when you escape. Tough luck. Okay. So yeah, you're right. I should, you know. I did text him earlier. I know texting is not the same thing as calling. Do I go north? Oh, no, I don't go north. Way to go, Pathfinder. As you plunge toward the base of the cliff, Mommy escapes your lips. Okay. No. What I need to do... You guys are trying to get me killed, man. Why do you do that? So this is the area where I got snared. So, right? So, here... now, what I need to do is... climb down the rope. Okay, this part I recall being, like, just annoyingly sort of hard. Oh, whoops. Oh. There's that. You reach the end of the rope. This has a negative effect on your resistance to the urging of gravity. Sorry, I was just... Oh, there we go. Alright, swing rope. And do I keep swinging the rope? Okay. No, okay, it keeps getting further and further, and he will eventually, like, start grabbing at me. I think he grabs at you, like, the 6th time or something. He like, actually gets you. 1, 2, 3. He's a hardy-sized fellow. You would guess him to be quite an energy guzzler. His stare suggests serious caloric lust. And 4. Okay. 4th time he gets you. He who hesitates is lost. You gave that guy one chance too many, and he sees the opportunity, not to mention you. You're consumed in 2 quick bites. Okay. Alright. 2, 3. Okay. Actually, I should not save right there. Your timing causes you to jump when the rope is at its least helpful point. Gravity beckons. Okay. This is the part that's like, hard. 3. No. Okay. Okay. 2, 3. Okay. No. No, no. There we go. Caloric Lust is my new indie band. Yeah. Okay. Well, now that we're past him. Then we go in the cave. Being as dark as it is in here, there isn't much to see. You do see light coming from the east. Now, if we keep going this way, I think we either get eaten by something or we just fall. No, is there nothing like... No. Well, anyway. You hold the gem. You take out the gem and hold it in your palm. The room is illuminated by its glow. You hear a small shriek and the sound of many footsteps moving away from you. So yeah, something would have, like, eaten me. What the hell? Oh. I have to go above the rock. So... the ground below your feet disappears. You tumble down through the darkness. And I guess it's kind of like the King's Quest Bridge you can walk on so many times, but it's more, you know, I mean, the game actually gives you a visual cue here. King's Quest 2 does not. That was a rather spectacular entrance. All systems seem to be intact, though. Okay. So these guys, the dwellers, mumble something. If you had not untied the guy that was trapped earlier, they would kill you here. The translator responds with, "Follow us, beanpole," and they hurry away. Okay. Oh, I guess that's not the way. Guess I have to go around. Oh, wait, I have to get the gem. Duh. Oh. Yeah, you can forget the gem, and then you'll be really, really screwed if you leave it. So here, welcome to our canyon. You look to be from out of town. On behalf of all of us, I would like to thank you for saving our compadre from the hunters. You are welcome to stay in the canyon as long as you like. When you're ready to leave, simply say the word, and my assistants will show you the only way out for a being of your size. When you leave, however, we must seal the exit behind you for our own protection. Goodbye and good luck. All right, say the word. Cool. Okay, I'm going to save right here, and then I'm going to save right there, because this is really super annoying. Now, of course, no, don't adjust your monitor. We've taken control. There's no light source in the vicinity. You couldn't see guano if it was pasted to your proboscis? I've never heard that word before. Okay. Hold gem. You can't maneuver it with the gem in your hand. Well... you hold it in your mouth. Ah, better. Not a great deal better, but better. Okay. Now. No, there was a visual. There was a gem icon on the ground in that screen where I dropped it. It was there. So. Oh, thanks for hanging out, comedians on a couch. Let's see. Come back next week. Well, I think I'm doing a double Manhunter episode. Okay, so I have a key here because this is a big stupid maze. This is I don't even know how you would get through this without like trial and error and making a map. This is like if you ever played Legend of Kyrandia, like the Fireberry maze. This is sort of the equivalent of that almost. It's really annoying. Suddenly, an inhuman guttural moan echoes through the narrow caves. You're not sure which direction it came from. The only thing you do know for sure is that you've just soiled your undergarments. And if you go to the wrong place, you'll die, basically. So, what we do, crawl down here. And I have to kind of keep my finger on this to go over here. And there's no way I would just do this by trial and error. Climb down to the first path to the right. All right. Climb down to the... Is that the first path to the right? Yeah, it is. Crawl right to the next ladder. Climb down to the very, very bottom. And yes, The Legend of Kyrandia Bantuni, it was a trilogy, yes. Crawl left. Past there. Past there. Into that ladder. Climb down. First path, right here, right, and we get out this way. Yeah, the Kyrandia games were they're decent. The second game was really good. It was legit, like a really good game. Those are games that I might wind up playing at some point on stream. They're all right. You have an opportunity to stand and spare your tender knees. The crystal clear water gives off a gentle glow in abundance. It is able to light the room. You take the glowing gem from between your aching jaws. You notice it is overly moist as you slip it into your pocket. So, now that I'm through that stupid maze, I want to go over here. Hey man, some of those old PC games might be worth something. They should be very happy about storing your old boxes. So now we here. How do I... Oh, there we go. I'm actually going to save here. And if you go down the wrong path, you die. As we're doing here. Log. Splat. I mean, that's here. Screenshotting that. That's the best. After careening off of a pair of rock outcrops. Oh, you find a final resting place at the base of the falls. I think it means you slam into the rock outcroppings. Another senseless tragedy. Yeah, just the standard death message. So, and I think you can also get tired of swimming and die that way. Caroming. There's all these words. I don't know. That's like an outdoorsy thing. That's like a, I don't know. I only stay inside. As you enter another of the... I'm kidding, by the way. As you enter another of the mysterious subterranean chambers, you realize that the water is now racing toward a giant whirlpool in the middle of the area. You are caught in the strong current, powerless to alter your course. So, which is fine. You would think... You would assume I would be dying here, but no. I'm just... It's full. It's cool. It's fine. Your body is sucked down until finally you are able to resist no more and must yield to the overwhelming force. Alright. Geez, that was quite a trip. Peering around, you find yourself back in the open again. You are in a pool. It is fed by a waterfall which spews from a strange rock face. An actual face, an ugly one at that, is carved into the rock. It must be hundreds of years old. And here we have possibly the guess the gnome's name / throw the bridle on the snake puzzle of this game. Okay. So you arrive here, pretend you know nothing, which if you haven't played this game, you do. You're in a little clearing which is surrounded by large boulders and impenetrable brush. There's water in which you entered at the bottom left. You can just see a landing platform in the distance. Now, viewers who know nothing about this game. Okay, we've just gotten here. How do I get through this? Give me some guesses. I want to hear some guesses on how you think I get through this. Okay, we're going to look again. So you see the message, right? There's water in which you entered at the bottom left. You can just see a landing platform in the distance. Impenetrable brush, large boulders. Okay. All right. What's in my inventory? Well, hold on. I've got to increase. I've got to show this one. So we've got the jockstrap supporter, the glowing gem, the whistle, the cage key, the dialect translator, the key card, and the puzzle. Okay? That's what we got. Those are the items. So, okay, yeah, so you would think that wouldn't be helpful. Yeah. The bank is too steep to climb. Use the jockstrap supporter to help you climb. Failing that, call the beast over. Now, Bantuni, do you know this game? Did you know? Or are you guessing? Oh, I mean, you also probably, did you see the intro video? Okay. So, the correct solution to this is to use the Labion Terror Beast Whistle. Okay. You give the whistle a toot, it makes an odd sound. You hear an incredible whirring and grinding sound coming from the north. And here is basically the Tasmanian devil. Okay. Suddenly a Labion Terror Beast buzzes into the room like a tornado, and he looks like he could do as much damage as one. But then what? Okay. Alright. Well, ain't that a hoot? That guy reduced you to a multicolored mound of coleslaw-like matter, better than a Murphco slice-o-matic. You are dead, however. Now, how do you think we get through this? Let's use the whistle again. I'm just going to save it right here. We'll go into the water, right? And, yeah, he's distracted. All right. Now, here, let's turn the sound off real quick so I don't hear that. Dive. No, there's nothing down there to mess with. So, how do you think but I have to get through there now. How do you think I would see, as soon as you get out, he'll come at you. So there's no way. I'll just tell you, there's no way to get through there without, That's not currently one of your options. Throw jockstrap at beast. No, that doesn't work. So how would you get past him? What do you think I would do? There's no, here, let's talk to him. It's not much of a talker. The Labion Terror Beast is spinning around like a tornado, and he looks like he could do as much damage as one. Okay. So, throw gem at beast. That's not currently one of your options. You use whistle. You give the whistle a toot, it makes an odd sound. Again? Okay. Yeah, no. What do you do? Well, let's get out of the water and do it. That's not currently one of your options. See, that's all it tells you, right? All right, well, the correct response, the correct answer is to throw the puzzle at the beast, okay? You can't do that while swimming. You're lucky if you can think and breathe simultaneously, but that's the solution. You have to get out of the water. The water is just a safety buffer. You chuck the cubic fruit puzzle over to the beast. The beast appears interested in your offering. Curiosity gets the better of him as he reaches down for it. The puzzle, the cube puzzle that I took from my locker at the beginning of the game. I don't blame you for saying what puzzle, because yeah, that's a good response. You're like, oh yeah, that thing. He seems quite perplexed by the puzzling plastic polyhedron. So you do that, and then that's done. So that's solved, right? Yeah. So, and yeah, I mean, if you didn't look in the locker at the beginning, you you would miss that. And you would also not have what you need for the next puzzle. You pick up a small rock generated during the Terror Beast's grand entrance. Okay. I'm going to save the game again. And now, I mean, there's plenty of ways to, you know, you'll just die here. If this guy sees you, you're dead, right? So dang, allowing the guard to observe you is not very swift. He has disassembled you, probably adding a little excitement to his otherwise dull day, right? So now, and yeah, you have to slingshot the guard with the rock. Okay, well, that act would lack any serious gratification. So, boom. You throw it at him. You sling the rock at him with the jockstrap. You know, David and Goliath here. And you cleverly use the athletic supporter to sling the rock at the guard. It makes serious contact with the side of his head. We like the way you think. He drops like a lead parakeet. The right thud of impact is momentarily sickening. He is perfectly still. Oops. The guard is quite unconscious. Looks like he'll be out for a while. So not dead. And you actually have to move forward. You have to move to that forward bush to get it done, too. Search body, you find nothing. But, I do have a key card that I took from the body at the beginning of the game. Whoops. Oops. Use key card and door. The elevator is nothing special to look at. On the left side is a thin slot. Okay, use keycard and slot. You know what I meant. Oh my god. You slide the keycard into the slot, then remove it. This is so finicky. So you go up here. As soon as the elevator door closes behind you, the platform on which you rest begins to rise. And here we are on the landing platform that we came to the planet on. You're on a landing platform. A shuttle sits quietly nearby. You see lush growth all around. And we can get in the shuttle. You recall from when you landed the entry hatch being on the rear left of the shuttle. You'll have to move a little. All right. Okay. What the hell? Rear, oh, is it like this is the left? Okay, you open the hatch and get in. Got it. It's the left from Roger's perspective. Okay. So here we're in the spaceship. All right. Now we look around. You're inside a shuttle cockpit. There's an instrument panel before you. Between your legs is a throttle. You can see the local treetops. All right. What did it say? It says there's a panel. Okay. Everything looks automatic. The panel is loaded with clusters of system status indicators. There is a power button, an attitude dial, and an ascent thruster button. So, we press power. We turn the dial. The attitude dial is now set to VAC. VAC. Which I think is vertical control. Push thruster. Whoops. Button. Okay. The shuttle begins to vibrate as the ascent thrusters ignite. And we pull the lever. And we go up and up and up. Ascent thrusters ready. Attitude system. Vertical control. Forward descend. Back ascend. Alright. And we just wait. Here, let me increase the game speed a bit. Let me actually bump my cycles up a little too. There's no self-destruct, and there's no, like, transport me into an ad for another Sierra game button. That would have been cool if they had done that, but they didn't. You're off the planet. Good work, Roger Wilco. Okay. Whoops. I didn't see what that said, but okay. So we turn the dial again. Now it's HAC, I think. Yeah. The attitude dial is now set to hack. And then we pull the lever once more. So now we're moving forward instead of up. Oh, there we go. As soon as I set it on fastest, it's like the screens are suddenly splashed with the incredibly horrible image of Sludge Vohaul, who you should remember. I think I pointed out that the scientist who dies at the beginning of Quest 1, Space Quest 1, that's Slash Vohaul, the inventor of the star generator. Sludge Vohaul is his evil clone within the fiction of the world. I don't know if they actually ever tell you that, but yeah. Have Roger Wilco press the Space Uncle phone call button. Damn. Rodbot, I promise I will call him. Okay, you're making me feel really bad. I should feel bad. I'm bad and should feel bad, so. But it's all for you guys. Okay, so Sludge Vohaul's here. Hello, Roger Wilco. I've been waiting for you. Once again, my subordinates have failed me. Anyway, it looks like you'll be visiting me again soon. Don't bother trying to pilot the vehicle. I've taken control. You'll be arriving at my command post shortly. I anxiously await your arrival. He closed with a chilling laugh. Ha ha ha. His image is frozen on the screens. The ship changes course as if it had a life of its own. All you can do is hang on. Here we go. Off to Vohaul's, his lair. You're gonna be sad when we get to games with voice acting. Oh, I'm gonna be sad when we get to games with voice acting too, but for different reasons. Most of them are really bad as far as the acting. Oh boy. King's Quest 6 is probably the first one with, like... Well, no, Space Quest 4, its voice acting was good, but King's Quest 6 was the first one with, like, pretty good voice acting. Like, genuine, you know, like Robbie Benson is the lead. And then Gabriel Knight, oh, that's good. But we have to put up with stuff like Dagger of Amon-Ra and, like, King's Quest 5. Those games are... Oh, the voice acting's so bad. And oh my, I you know what? Dagger of Amon-Ra, I was playing through part of it not that long ago, just going like, oh my god, when I stream this, how am I gonna get through this? Because there's so much conversation. It's super boring in the beginning. So we'll see. All right. I mean, I could just play the text versions and just do them myself. Be like, my name's Laura Bow. Okay, through the window you see your apparent destination, Vohaul's asteroid. Whoa. Alright, the massive bay doors meet, jarring the entire vehicle bay. Excuse me, as you step down, the shuttle door slams shut behind you. You are quite surprised not to find several of Vohaul's guards waiting to greet you. You begin to ponder what the twisted scientist might have in store for you. Oh, I'm like right here. Okay, cool. And of course, you know, I mean, you can just fall off and die, right? I mean, short step to the end of the game for you. You're no Buddy Ebsen. Buddy Ebsen. Isn't that like Jed Clampett? Buddy Ebsen. I don't even get the reference. Okay. Was he in like a sci-fi thing? Okay, alright, so here we are in this stupid maze. This is a really annoying, again, this whole section is like a maze. Okay, you can go down the stairs, right down onto the floor below, and there are these catwalks on either side in the back here. That front one I can't access yet. right? So like those doors on the very that door, you know, that like Space Mountain door on the very side, I cannot get to that. That's actually like kind of the end, the goal, and the end at the end of the area. So the panel has a vertical row of 4 buttons. There is some small engraving at the bottom edge of the panel. Well, what's the engraving say? I don't think it's in view right now. Oh my god. You just told me it was there. Ugh. The engraving reads Bobco Lift Division, a subsidiary of Bobco Inc., universally famous makers of Nad's hamster tape. It's very weird. Yeah, see, I knew that. Beverly Hillbillies. Yeah, it's Jed Clampett, right? Buddy Ebsen. Like I said. That's what I thought it was, but I don't get the reference in terms of, like, why was it making that reference at that point when I had just fallen off of a catwalk? I don't understand what Buddy Ebsen has to do with that. Oh, Boldly Go Where No Man Has Gone Before. There we go. Okay. Okay. So we are going to floor 3. That is where we go first. Okay. And now, there's a bunch of trial and error. You have the funny feeling you're being watched. There's a bunch of stupid trial and error right here. Where you have to run from, like, the floor cleaner. Because it'll kill you. Right? And hopefully that doesn't happen. All right, and in here, we have to basically, you find all these items in these closets, and you use them later, right? Aha! You know a janitorial closet when you smell one almost at once. You sense an emptiness, a melancholy longing. You begin to feel homesick. And it's quite dark in here. You do find a plunger, however. We take the plunger. Okay. And it's quite dark in here. I think that's, that would be the only thing we need. There we go. And yeah, there is a deadly Roomba. That's exactly what it is. It just runs over you and kills you. I haven't seen it yet, though, so. I kind of wanted to show you, like, some of the deaths here. Where is it? Oh, there it is. All right, yeah. There's evil Roomba. Boom. Done. It looks like you have been formally introduced to the floor waxer. You now consist of a very thin yet glossy floor covering. Too bad. You seem to be making relatively good progress. So, you would if it shows up, you basically have to run all the way back to the nearest doorway and stay in there until it passes, and it's super annoying. Like sometimes it'll just show up immediately after you get off the elevator. Onto the next screen, you know? So yeah, it's dumb. Alright, so here, level 4. I can't remember if they're on, like, all the floors. But the whole base looks like this. So it's just this sort of, this boring series of corridors. Like, visually, it's just... Ah! See? Ah, got it. Success. I defeated the vacuum cleaner. It's quite dark in here. Okay. There's nothing here that you can't already see. It's quite dark. It's quite dark in here. On the floor, you notice a glass cutter. Okay. I both looked in closet, looked on floor. Neither of those produced a message that said, there's a glass cutter here. So, a normal person might have just done that and been like, there's nothing here, and left. But, if you just look, it's like, oh, there's a thing, right? It's so dumb. All right. Oh, and thank you, 4% Pantomime. This is nostalgic for me, too. I played all these games when I was a kid. Yeah, this is, it's been fun. So here, we can go in either bathroom. It doesn't matter. Let's see. And go in the stall. The inside of the stall is a sight to behold. There is writing of various languages etched on the walls. The floor has an interesting coating of some type of concealed dreck. It appears that the toilet may have been white once. A toilet paper dispenser hangs on the wall. Huh. Let's get some toilet paper. All right. And there's actually a lighter in here. Like you can find here. It's an item I get later. If you light it in here, you blow up and you die. The grimy wall has writing on it. Ooh, what does it say? Oops. The writing etched on the wall is in various languages. One large message reads, "For a good time called Jerry, ask for Leonard." One large message reads, "Vohaul sucks." One reads, "Here I sit lonely-hearted. Had to bolt, but only darted." Vohaul plays text adventures. Ha ha. Came here to unleash a beast just to find my coal increased. Vohaul's mother wears stellar patrol boots. Huh? Are there any new ones? For a good time called the Helmet Master? The Helmet Master? Is it supposed to be like a Darth Vader or like Spaceballs thing? Ah, here we go. Ken was here. So was Al, but we had to repaint afterward. Ha ha ha. Okay. So anyway, there's just some fun messages to read there on the wall, right? Save the game. Just keep going down here. Would it have been I think Spaceballs would have come out like the same year, right? That was because this is 1987. This would have been like the year Next Generation started. Alright. Save the game again, so evil Roombas don't get me. Oh, jeez. Is it this? Oh. Oh, yeah, there's that guy. Alright. Again? Oh, it's quite dark in here. There's a small wastebasket. On the floor next to it is a pair of crusty work overalls. Oh, okay. So it actually tells me... It actually tells me this time, not like that stupid other closet. Thank you for the sub, Casey the Buffalo. Aren't you amazed by how much stuff an adventure game hero can carry? You've just got to know how to pack. Alright. You pick up the overalls. They're very small and quite worn out, not to mention filthy, and of no use to you. You toss them back on the floor. As you set them down, something falls to the floor. And you see some filthy overalls and a lighter. Okay. Got the lighter. And of course, if we walk this way, that guy kills me. Youch, you feel alarmingly dense. Apparently, you were a prime focal point for some aggression channeling by one of the caged creatures. Your compressed composition indicates that your attacker possesses considerable strength, a good guy to avoid in the future. So, of course, you are damaged beyond repair, and the game must end. You've made quite a bit of progress, though. Don't start screwing up now. Alright. So, there's that. Yet another hilarious death. Right? Oh, yeah. Oh, no. One of the cells is opening. Who knows what unspeakable horrors waits behind those steel bars. All right. So that, I'll just show you. Okay. There is, that's totally a face hugger. Like an alien. Like well, it gives you a giant kiss. But then what happens is you don't die immediately. But there's like an invisible timer that happens. It's like a 15-minute timer, and then your chest bursts open and you die, right? I don't want that to happen, though, so, you know. I'm just gonna leave. I'm not confident that I will that I will be able to beat it in 15 minutes. And also, you know, Roger would just die afterward anyway. I mean, you know, I would be dooming him. Can't have that. So I've gotten all the cool items that I need, right? So now we're back here to the main level where I came in on the shuttle. And now we go down here. And the reason we don't go down here immediately is because the door behind you closes solidly. A barrier springs up before you. And walking speed does not generally affect time. Like, not timers in these kinds of games, no. Another barrier stands in your way. You feel the floor shift below you. It's moving to the left. What is it? It's like use plunger on wall. Is that what it is? I hope that's what it is. Oh no. I'm just gonna die. Yeah, well. It's good to see the death anyway. Imagine if you will, taking a bath in sulfuric acid and using pumice for a washcloth. After that bit of displeasure passes, it gets much worse as the acid slowly eats its way to the last critical organs. Finally, mercifully, death takes you. So, okay. Whoops. I just didn't do that fast enough. Okay. Let's just save the game right. Well, let's just save the game right here. And I want to wait because if you do it too soon, you'll get tired and your grip will slip and you'll fall into the acid anyway. Alright, using formerly uncharacteristic creativity, you apply the suction cup-like plunger to the smooth metal finish and hang on for dear life. Once a janitor, always a janitor. Alright, you release your grip and drop back down. Problem solved, everybody. Okay. Now, let's look around. You're in an attractive tube-shaped region of the asteroid. Okay. So, we go this way, and this death robot is gonna chase us. Okay. Now, you've made the mistake of getting within what looks to be a cattle prod's length of the metal menace. An electrical contact connected to an extension arm reaches from its body and makes contact with you. That's when you begin feeling the intense burst of electrical current pulsating through your body. You quickly black out. As you can see, you amount to a little more than a hill of laser-fried beans. You've come a long way only to be torched. Keep up the fine work! Okay, now I'm gonna put it to you guys. How do you think we get past those dudes? What do you think? Oh, there's another one. Great. How do we disable them? Because this is there's a door over there. It's probably not clear, but there's a door over there. Okay. And we have to get past those guys. So, how do you do it? I have a support of items I haven't used. I'll narrow it down. I have a wastebasket, lighter, toilet paper, glass cutter, and that's it. Okay? So, no, you don't make them kill each other, because if one's chasing you and you go up here, they'll stop moving, so they won't fight each other. Right? This is another sort of like, oh, you're in an attractive tube-shaped region of the asteroid. Okay. This section of the corridor is lined with wall bots. There is a door to the right. Okay. Well, what do you do then? Well, let's think. I'll tell you what the solution is, okay? Put the toilet paper in the wastebasket. Drop the basket. Okay. This guy's chasing me. And you set fire to the basket. Oh, whoops. I did that. I didn't do that. I didn't do that soon enough. Let's go drop it over here. Give me some more time. And use the lighter to set fire to the waste paper basket. Oh no, he still got me. Oh. Do I do that like... Here. Okay, we'll put it all the way over there. And it's, yeah, Molotov, well, it sets off the sprinklers. But the thing is that it doesn't really tell you, like, can you tell those are sprinklers up there? Does this not, like... Here, let's see. Well, probably don't need the two. Maybe they just fry before I let them out. When receiving a nice hosing yourself, the basket fire is extinguished. Seconds later, a loud series of pops is followed by the smell of fried electronics. Okay, so... Sprinkler sense accomplishment and cease operation. So, okay, I didn't really need to aggro him. Your fire and subsequent shower seems to have shorted out the burnished bullies. Okay. But that's why I was like, oh, look. You know, and it's like, it doesn't tell you anything about sprinklers, right? So that might be a hint. The ceiling is average with the possible exception of some type of sprinklers. But you wouldn't really, that just looks like decoration on the, like, walls, whatever, you know, like, if it doesn't call it out when you look around, you're missing, like, a vital clue, like, oh, there's sprinklers, how do I set them off? Because that might be, actually, that would be a good puzzle, actually, if you knew, oh, I need to set the sprinklers off, how do I do that? But it doesn't really, unless you really look for it, it doesn't really give you that piece of information. All right, you have just entered Vohaul's secret chamber. The Evil One himself is seated before a large console high on a platform in the center of the room. Standing obliviously ready are many of the dreaded salesman clones. So, Roger Wilco, we meet again. I must say I'm quite impressed with your resourcefulness and tenacity. I'd love to chat, but I'm busy preparing the last of my salesman clones for their trip to Xenon. Feel free to stick around and observe the downfall of your civilization. Alright, so we're going to go up and just knock his lights out. You ready? Going somewhere? And... doesn't quite kill you, but as soon as you step on the platform, you are struck by a beam of light emitted from a unit in the ceiling. In a matter of seconds, you are broken down into microparticles and extracted from the air. Again, the beam strikes, this time blasting into a glass jar on the console. It is there. You are molecularly reconstructed in a miniaturized form. Well, I'll be darned. My miniaturization beam does work. Vohaul's voice booms. Should have an apostrophe before the S in Vohaul's. As a possessive, there's a typo. Need a copy editor. Okay. In the old days, I'd test these things on myself. But as you may have noticed by my appearance, being my own guinea pig had its disadvantages. I guess this will keep you out of my way once and for all. You'll make a nice conversation piece. With that, Vohaul turns away to put finishing touches on Xenon's fate. And of course, we have a glass cutter. That should be very obvious. In here. The newly cut pane of glass falls to the counter. Apparently, Vohaul doesn't notice. So, and you can also just stay in there and, like, suffocate and die. And obviously, you can fall off of the, you know, tabletop. So, you know, you'd be like, oh, an average person would go over here. Oh, there's some stuff I need to mess with here, right? Oh, well, darn, Roger Wilco. I guess his lardness got a little fed up with your meddling. You've been redesigned once again, revealing a permanent overhead view. You resemble one of those wonderfully colorful mosaics commonly found on windshields. So, there's that. Now let's look around. You're inside a glass jar. Oh, I should probably walk out. And now look around. You are on the surface of a console. A large, compared to you, jar sits in the middle. A hole has been cut in the side. There are some vents near the back. Let's look at the vents. As you turn your attention to the vent, you notice it to be quite dark. You hear a rhythmic hum of some sort of mechanical device and something that sounds like industrial strength breathing. It might be coming from the vent. Well, whoops. Ah. You wiggle your slim carcass through the vent. Aha. Judging from those two hoses coming in from outside, you guess that this is the inner workings of Vohaul's life support system. A respirator pumps oxygen into his lungs, while a pump on the back wall forces blood through filters. There's also a sign on the back wall. The sign says, caution, press button for emergency shutoff. Well, how convenient. Push the button. Way to go, Roger Wilco. You've just disconnected Vohaul's life support system. He's a goner without it. You can see Vohaul struggling to take his last few breaths. Not you again. You think you have won, he wheezes. But all you've done is to seal your own fate. He reaches up and flips a switch on the far end of the console before dropping to the floor. Dead. So once again, we have a Sierra protagonist who's a murderer. I have just murdered. I mean, he's obviously like the villain. But yeah, I've just murdered him. Roger Wilco, King Graham, Prince Alexander. Did I have to kill anybody in Gold Rush? I don't think so. Oddly enough, no murder in Police Quest. To be fair, all of the characters you kill, in Black Cauldron, everybody you kill in Sierra games, they're all bad guys. But, you know, there's just so many games where it's just like, you're just murdering. You are walking on another section of the control console. There is a large switch on the back panel. A keyboard is at your feet. All right, the switch is the toggle type that is currently off. There they are. What you see is what they display. It's just your typical keyboard. Keys with normal letters on them. Wasn't there, like, console? Oh, the side walls are nondescript. The back one has a switch and two displays. You can see what they are displaying. Okay, well, I can't see what they're displaying. Oh, my God. There they are. What you see is what they display. Kill me. Here, hold on. You have to press the switch first? I think, maybe. Okay. Reduce or enlarge. Okay. I'm going to let you guys pick. Reduce or enlarge. I bet I know what you're going to pick. What do we do? We're small, and this is asking us reduce or enlarge. Oh, well, we'll go reduce. I don't know. I've always wondered if there were like other funny things you could type on it, but I've never been able to find one. All right, sequence has begun. Oh, well, gee. What's this going to do? By already being in a miniaturized form and setting the beam to reduce, you are now too small to exist. That wasn't too swift on your part. Too bad. So, yet another death. So, now, go in here and you are once again reconstituted, this time to the correct size. You notice that the clones are gone. And of course, you know, you can just fall and die. Well, Roger Wilco, you found one more way to snatch humiliation from the jaws of heroism. Yeah. Like I said, you know, isn't this true? What I said, like, there's a way to die on almost every single screen in the game. It's ridiculous. So, okay. So now, as with anything, we want to search the body. Always got to search the body. An examination of his repulsively turgid, fabric-encased mass reveals nothing other than the tubes which supplied him with blood and oxygen. You do notice the letters SHSR written in pen on the back of his left hand. Now, does anybody here, before I go on to the next puzzle, does anybody here know how they got the name HAL 9000 in 2001: A Space Odyssey? Like, how they came up with HAL, how they decided on that name. Does anyone know the bit of trivia around that? Monitor. General status, orbit decaying, prognosis terminal, interior environment okay, external temperature critical, auxiliary operations, clone launch go. Launch countdown 6:24, 23. To abort launch, enter code below. F6 to exit this screen. So, okay. So, the way they got HAL was they took IBM and just went one letter down. Okay. IBM. I goes to H, B goes to A, M goes to L. HAL 9000. That's where that came from. And they've just told us that the code is SHSR. Okay. And think about if you go down one letter each, what do you come up with when you go, what is SHSR? What is the IBM to SHSR's HAL? No, you're going the wrong way, Casey. You gotta go up. The SHSR is the HAL. What's the IBM? Go up. So you can type that SHSR to how would I ever figure what out? I mean, the code is on Vohaul's body. That's how I figured the code out. But you can also use that for the code. Haha. So it's just a funny, goofy little Easter egg that calls back to how, you know, to 2001: A Space Odyssey. It's a really weird, obscure piece of trivia, but it yeah, that's where that came from. Yeah. So launch aborted. We are done with that. And let's see. All right. Can I just do that? Yeah, great. Let's look around here. You're walking through a clear tubular passageway, which seems to wind in and out along the outer perimeter of the asteroid. There's a box mounted on the west end of this tube, the one I'm standing right in front of. You aren't in the right place. Oh my god, I'm right next to the box, game. The box is actually an oxygen mask receptacle. It is currently closed. Open box. You open the box and notice the oxygen mask. Remove it and close the box. Okay, great. Alright, now we'll just keep going. I'll show you what happens if you don't wear the mask. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Alright. You keep going, just walk this way. And the section of the glass tubing has fractured from combined stress. The pressurized atmosphere rushes for the relative vacuum of space. And due to the effect of the air rushing by you, to get out the hole, the air in your lungs is sucked out and you find it impossible to get more. Hence, you struggle but die. You only had 230 points anyway, no big loss. So there's that. So we want to wear the mask. And this time, a section of the glass tubing has fractured from combined stress. The pressurized atmosphere rushes for the relative vacuum of space. Fortunately, wearing the mask protects you from suffocation. No longer needing the mask, you remove and stow it for later. And now, 40 minutes until meltdown. A synthesized voice cheerfully announces. Now, I think... Whoops. And yes, you can actually sit and wait down that 40 minutes and it will blow up and you'll die. I want to say I have to go... I think this is a dead end. I know I know that noise is really pleasant. I'll turn it off for you. Oh yeah, this guy. What's up? Any curiosity you may have harbored regarding the menacing metallic pest will now be satisfied as you have drawn too close. Your attention is attracted to a decal on the front of the machine. It says the Vohaul Meromatic. This rouses your curiosity. Suddenly you know that each and every bone in your body feels so as though it has been transformed into molten matter. Never slow to catch on, you notice that you are cooking from the inside out. Now this is a pain that lingers. And yes, that's Ed 209 from RoboCop. It's totally what that's supposed to be a reference to. Every drop of moisture is purged from your system by the intense heat of the internal barbecue. Your dehydrated composition makes it impossible to continue. Better luck next time, Roger Wilco. Okay. So, here, whoops. Let's turn that off again. So what I think you're supposed to do, because this just kind of loops around. So he's guarding the escape pods, right? And now, because I don't think there's room for you to do it, from that side, right? I'm curious. Can I fall onto here? Oh, no, I can't. Okay. I thought maybe I would just fall onto the steps below, but that's not how that works. So now, gotta hustle out of here. Only got 40 minutes after all. Alright. Let's turn that off. I have to cue this up because you have to push the button at the escape pod. And then run. And then come back. Which, that's great design, right? Oh my god. So, oh, I guess maybe I could have, maybe I could have gotten one of the other ones. So this guy will chase you. I mean, this is like a stupid puzzle design where you have to just chase him until you have to walk until he stops following you. I feel like that's kind of dumb. But So he chases you all the way down there, and then, you know, you lose him, right? And you come back and just enter the pod. Same logic. Here, I'll turn on these beautiful sounds for you again. Alright, the robot has apparently decided that it is permissible for you to be here since you are in the pod already. And upon entering the escape pod, you quickly take your seat. You are seated inside one of the emergency escape vehicles. Before you lies a control panel and a viewport. Through the viewport, you can see portions of the asteroid breaking up from the intense heat due to orbital decay. It's only a matter of time before you burn up with it. And then on the panel, the only outstanding feature on the panel is the clearly marked launch button. Warning, emergency escape vehicle's launch sequence has begun. Launch time, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Phew. You're going to have to stop cutting these escapes so close, Roger Wilco. Well, you must feel pretty good right now. You stopped Vohaul from carrying out his threat of salesman infestation, ultimately destroying the twisted scientist himself. If you had actually gone through the game without stopping the countdown and entering the code on his computer, you wouldn't have stopped that. It would get to here and it'd be like, nice job, Roger. You've escaped, but everything's horrible anyway because Vohaul's plan still went off. It's like if you escaped from the Sarian ship in the first one and forgot like the cartridge or forgot to destroy the star generator. It'd be like, well, you escaped, but you still screwed up. So, all right. You also managed to save your own skin, and just look at that score. Pretty darned impressive. Suddenly, a warning signal draws your attention to the oxygen meter on the front panel. It reads low and dropping fast. This is just great. You knew it was all too good to be true. You have maybe 5 minutes of air left. Well, Roger Wilco, it was nice knowing you. Now you take the time to view the interior of the pod in more detail. You see a sleep chamber against one wall. Whoops. Oh. Yeah. Oh my god, I can't type. Okay. The chamber is a bed of sorts enclosed in a large plexiglass cylinder. The occupant of such a chamber would be placed in suspended animation and kept alive for an indefinite period of time. You turn back the plexiglass cover. And you can, again, you can run out of oxygen and die, right? If you wait too long. But you get in the chamber. And you make the split-second decision to enter the sleep chamber. It seals automatically. Soon, you're overcome by a pleasant drowsiness. This is certainly better than suffocating. You begin to drift away into a deep sleep with the satisfaction of having accomplished your task. You've come through in the clutch, and you deserve a nice long rest. Now if someone would just pick you up somewhere along the way. So long, Roger Wilco, and thanks again for saving your people. The end for now, it says. I feel like it has like a bunch of messages about like other Sierra games. No? Maybe not. Well, anyway, turn the sound off there. But yeah, that's the end. That is a rather depressing ending. Yeah, that is the end of the game. That is how the game ends. Is Roger just enters a sleep chamber and it's like, well, who knows? And I beat that pretty quickly. Well, it has been a couple hours, longer than I thought. But this is a pretty short game. But yeah, this is just like, it's a weird, oddly depressing, considering this is like kind of a comedic series, an oddly depressing cliffhanger ending, because you're just like, what happens? And of course, they made 4 more, so Space Quest 3 begins with him getting, awakened in his sleep pod. So, yeah. But it is not exactly a celebratory ending here for our Roger Wilco. Yeah, that's Space Quest 2, Vohaul's Revenge. You didn't even know Vohaul was coming for revenge. He was nothing. You didn't even know he existed. He just came out of nowhere and was like, what can I say? I'm the villain. So, yup. And yeah, this is a game that you could beat in like a half hour, less than that if you know what you're doing. It's very, very fast. I feel like it's not as creative as Space Quest 1. It's not necessarily as funny. I think it's just not as interesting to explore. And like Vohaul's asteroid is like half the game, and it's just like a boring. It's just all the screens look the same. So it in the canon of Space Quest, I would consider it the second worst. After Space Quest 6 is the worst, but Space Quest 2 is the next one up. It's okay. Certainly not their finest moment. Like as Sierra sequels go, well, King's Quest 2 was another sort of like as was King's Quest 1 really. But like other first sequels, a lot of people don't like Leisure Suit Larry 2. I have a soft spot for it because it was the first adventure game I ever played, so I can't really separate it from my nostalgia. Police Quest 2 is one of the best games Sierra ever made, and easily by a mile the best game in that series. But this was just like a quick we got to make a sequel. Boom, boom, boom. They were like, our Disney deal fell apart. We got to get some original IP and get things going here. So this was part of that. 1987 was a big, big year for that. And so, yeah, then, the following year they would have a shiny new engine, a better text parser, a much, much nicer 16 color graphics. We'll get to that though in a couple. Not next week, maybe the week after. See, I'm having a little bit of a debate right now. I know I want to do probably a Manhunter 1 and 2 like double feature that's probably going to be the next episode. And because those were the last two outside of Manhunter 2 was the last AGI game in 1989. But then before I move on to like the SCI stuff, because King's Quest 4 will be the first episode of that, I'm kind of having an internal debate whether to like do any of the non-adventure games. Like I said, somebody brought up 3D Helicopter Simulator, and I'm there's stuff like that where it's just like it's okay. Like I was never into it, so I don't know it as well. And I sort of feel like this series probably should stay on track with like adventure games. I feel like that's the thing. But I have a little note here that's like, episode 11, AGI era, miscellany, 3D Helicopter Simulator, Sierra Championship Boxing, Troll's Tale, which was a very early adventure game that Outlaw did, and Mix Up Mother Goose AGI. And I'm still having, again, an eternal debate. I am gonna. That's my idea. Is just jam packed. Just be like AGI miscellany. Here's like a bunch of stuff. But I don't know how interesting that would be. And I'm debating whether to do Mixed Up Mother Goose at all, because like there's not necessarily much to say about it. And there's really not much out there about it. It's I'd be ashamed to skip it. I might just do like here's all the Mixed Up Mother Goose versions episode, because there were like 4 versions of that game. But it was actually their first CD-ROM game. So that's and one of the first CD-ROM games. So that would be an important one. I'm debating, just internally how to arrange that stuff. I'm leaning toward just no adventure games, unless it's. I might do like one on Hoyle, all the Hoyle games or something. I don't know, or like Jones in the Fast Lane. I'll do like a board and card games episode. We'll see. But adventure games are like really the focus here. But I want to figure out a way to do like Shadow of Acerbius and like the Imagination Network / Sierra Network. So we'll see. But next week is definitely the Manhunter games, which I assume I'm betting there probably is not going to be as much interest in those as there is for something like Space Quest, because they're really weird games. They're of the games, all the games in the AGI era, they're like the only ones that haven't been remade. Well, King's Quest 4, I guess, either, but they're the only it was like they made an SCI version at the time, but like Manhunter 1 and 2 were the only ones that have never been revisited in any way. And they're odd games. Everybody forgets about those. But that's next. That's next week. And yeah. So there's a little bit of a preview / insight into my internal monologue about how to cover some of those other weirder games. We'll see, though. We'll see. And I guess, well, that's it. That's it for the week. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed Space Quest 2, Vohaul's Revenge. Like I said, there is a VGA remake, an icon-based remake that Infamous Adventures did. You can go to their website and play it if you want. I understand that it's much better in some ways. And of course, I should mention all these games. Most of them you can buy them all on GOG or on Steam. They're all available if you just want to play them. If you want to go through them yourself. I think. Yeah, the only one that's not available for purchase somewhere is Black Cauldron, and that's just because it's like, this is a Disney game. This will never see the light of day again, most likely. But they're all, Gold Rush, all the King's Quest, Space Quest, Leisure Suit Larry, Police Quest. You can buy all of them and check them out. Maybe even play some of the ones I haven't done yet and be like, oh, if you get ahead of me. Then you can be like, oh, you forgot this when I get to them. Anyway, all right. Enough of that. I'm babbling now. Thank you all. If you like what I do, you can support me, obviously, by subscribing to the channel and cheering and all that stuff. I do really appreciate all the subs, that helps. And there's also links to my Patreon and Stream Elements, my Patreon page and Stream Elements tip jar down in the links below. And thanks for the follow, Jluthi10. I appreciate it. And if I inspired you to start playing Freddy Farkas, that's great. That is one of Sierra's best adventure games. Freddy Farkas is fantastic. You should play Gabriel Knight next. Oh, my dogs are here.
Go get him.
Pickle, Bosco.
Go attack.
Oh, April's trying to get the dogs to come attack me. Bosco, come here. Come here. Come here. Come here. Come here. Come here. Oh, you're heavy. Oh. There's my puppy. Get a little bit of. Well, turn that off. Get a little bit of a dog at the end there. All right. Oh, hi, Pickle. Hi, Pickle. Oh, I've got everyone is here. It's just like Smash Brothers. Oh. Bosco. All right. Oh God. Oh geez. Bosco. What are you doing? Hey. Oh, Bosco. Hey. What are you doing? What are you doing? Are you trying to get down? You can't get down. You're trapped here. You're trapped. You're trapped. Oh, oh, oh. Where did big sister go? Where did mommy go? Oh,
Yeah.
oh
Go rescue your
okay.
brother.
Okay, here. Go on. Go, go, go. All right. All right, now they're off wrestling like a couple of little Labion terror beasts. Bosco cuter than Pickle? Ooh, there's a debate right there. See, I can't pick. They're both super, super cute. Man, I don't know if I want to put that to a poll. They're both very adorable. Pickle looks like a Muppet. She's like doesn't look like a real dog. She looks like she belongs on Sesame Street or something. Bosco's super cute though. All right. I'll be streaming. Actually, no. Ooh, I might be streaming Thursday or Friday this week. I'm out of town again for work through Wednesday. So, but that is it for this stream. I've kept you long enough. Thank you for watching. Thank you for thank you for watching. Thanks for all the compliments. I will pass your comments on to Bosco, Elderberries Gaming, about his soft and smooth ears, which they are. And there'll be more dogs on the stream in the future and more Sierra games. So I hope you will join me next time. Thank you, and good night.